Good news, guys, we have updated the D-Day campaigns tool, and if you haven't seen this tool before, it's a game changer because you can do YouTube video ads without needing to know how to do YouTube video ads, because basically what this is a PPC campaign built into a software. All you have to do is you put in your ad copy, your video URL, put in your ad budget in here, and you've got some extra options that we've just added into this new version that helps us to do some very cool things that I will cover in this video as well. So if you've wanted to drive traffic, really targeted traffic with intent from YouTube, this is one of the best ways to do it, okay? Because the intent with YouTube is very easy to tap into, because people are actually in YouTube searching for solutions. They want to find out things about reviews, they want to find out things about how to do stuff, best products and stuff like that. And oftentimes when they're looking for products, they know the name as well, so we can target them specifically. Whereas if you compare it to other networks like Facebook, for example, they're not really there with the same intent, okay? They're not there to learn something, to discover something as much as what they are in YouTube. So that makes it a very good platform for targeting for people with the intent of getting the information that you can present to them with your YouTube ads. Now, what we've done with this version is a little bit different. We've just added in some network options and device options in here, but the main goal with this, when I initially created it back in 2019, we didn't actually release this until 2020, but I had it in 2019, and basically the idea then was that we would use this to be able to get views and engagement signals on our videos on YouTube, so that we could trigger some organic algorithms. Now that is still true, but it really depends on the quality of the video, and if you're actually getting some positive watch time, retention time, and some engagement signals such as comments and likes, etc. as well. Okay, but what I've done with this version is, by adding these networks and devices, this is taking things a step further. Now, initially the D-Day campaigns was all about doing dollar per day campaigns, so that we could do that strategy just for triggering the algorithms, and that is still relevant. But when we have this now that we have this, we've got much more options. We can get much more better results because we have added this. Now, you can see here I've got my first campaign, and it's choosing all three networks here, and it's choosing devices as computers. Now I could probably just start with something like this, and I've got all three networks, and I've got three devices, but I'll keep off TV screens because nobody can click a link in the TV screen, okay? And then what I can do is I can clone this, and in the next one, basically I can change that to be just YouTube videos and mobile phones, and then I can choose, clone that and do another campaign. And this one could be YouTube search results in mobile phones, and the next one could be video partner network and mobile phones. You can see how this can work, okay? So then we can go and do some changes where we could do, for example, computers, like for the next campaign, so that we can do some good split testing with these campaigns. Now, it's still advisable to do dollar per day campaigns, but if you did 5 of these or 7 of these, that's $7, okay? So what we found, if you've got your keywords right, then you can be getting about 1 penny per click, okay, for these video views. Now, if you are doing this with $7 for 7 split tests here, what you will find is that after a few days, you're going to have enough data that you'll be able to see. Even before then, you'll start to see very clearly, very quickly, what devices are best and what networks are best, okay? So you might find, for example, that YouTube search results on mobile phones is getting far more impressions, far more views at an affordable price, like ½ cent per click or 1 cent per click, etc. And that means that you can just pause the other campaigns and focus on that, because you know that this is working for you, okay? So we can get more in-depth information, and all it takes is for us to be able to clone these. Now, all you need to do is set up your first campaign with the information here, and then you can just clone from there. Just checkbox it, click on clone, and it will duplicate that, okay? So it's just the exact copy of what that was, and you can do your changes from here. Now, if you compare this to something like a Fiverr gig, if you spend $5 in a Fiverr gig, that costs you an extra $2 to pay Fiverr as well for their fee. So that would be $7. Now, I've spent a lot of $7 in Fiverr.com, and I felt it was a complete waste of time, a complete waste of money. I bought backlink packages and all that kind of stuff for even more money than that. Here, what we can do for the same money is we can be driving targeted video views with intent. Okay, that's a game changer. For the same money, for that same $7, I could be getting around 700 video views that are really, really targeted for my content. Now, the good thing about the D-Day campaigns, one of the positive things that I like, is that your ad only shows to people who you have targeted. So you may have targeted with placements, as in video URLs that have got monetization enabled, that you have identified, or channels that you have identified that have got monetization enabled. So when people are watching videos, your ad will show in the up next section, or your ad might show in the Google search as well. Okay, now this can happen with the keywords as well that you choose, and that means that you've targeted them before your ad will actually show. But to get the view on the actual advert itself, the person has to click on your thumbnail to watch your video. Okay, so you kind of pre-qualified them 2 times by doing this, and that's what makes this such a good strategy, because once we can target, double verify that targeting, and they choose to click on it, and we have done this kind of split testing down here, then we can come away very, very soon with a sort of clear winner, a clear idea of the best way to run that particular video ad creative that you're using. Okay, so what I suggest to do is, create a video and maybe have 3 or 4 different versions of that video. Maybe you're going to change something with the introduction, with the hook that you're going to use, etc. Or if it's just for a content video that you want to drive more traffic to, that you want to drive more engagement to, then the discovery ad campaigns are best for that, because they are double verified. And what you can do then is you can have that double verified audience watching your video and hopefully building up your engagement signals. But it will come down to the quality of your video and if it's resonating with that audience. Okay, what you can also do is go into your YouTube channel. You can go and find the videos that have produced the most subscribers, or the videos that have produced the most views, etc., and look for the positive metrics and test those with this kind of campaign. And just even $10 is going to get you 1,000 targeted video views. Okay, now don't think about this as a way just to boost the numbers of views on youtube.com. That can be important, but it's not the most important thing. What you really want to do is use your videos with the YouTube ads to raise awareness about the content that you're doing, to raise awareness about the promotion that you're doing, etc., and go from there. Okay, look at the results that you want to get. Now, there's been a recent change as well in YouTube, and that is any ad campaigns that have got a conversion goal is now called video action ads. I've actually built another tool for that here, and we've actually built another tool here as well for Instream ads, and these I will be selling separately. This video is all about the D-Day campaigns, which is the discovery ads. But if you're going to run this is running without any campaign goals, and also it's running for a worldwide audience, because the idea behind this is we're going to drive as many views as possible to get those positive engagement signals. But also you want to be able to use this for being able to build audiences, and we can easily use the remarketing that is built into the Google ads, that anybody who watches any video on your channel, we can remarket to them later, and we can do that in the past 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, etc., etc. So here's the cool thing about this, and this is something to take away before I finish, is that if we're building granular audiences that are based on interest around your main topic and subtopics, say for example, my interest is video marketing, okay, and more specifically, I start to build audiences around topics like YouTube advertising, or YouTube discovery ads, or YouTube video action ads, etc., etc. Now, every time I create one of these little audiences that I'm driving traffic to from my adverts, what happens is Google will create similar audiences. Now, if they're creating similar audiences, I'm wondering if that algorithm is going to be similar to the suggested video algorithm for organic. Okay, now if you think about it, if I have built up a remarketing audience from people watching my YouTube videos, and I'm doing another YouTube video later, and I choose to use not just my remarketing audience, but also the similar audience that Google automatically creates from my remarketing audience, then the one that Google is creating, is that the same algorithm, or is it similar algorithm to what they use for the similar audiences within the organic YouTube algorithm? I think it must be very, very similar. So that's something to take away. That's one of the advantages of what we're building here, and that's one of the advantages of coming back to this, updating the tool. You know, now that we're a bit more experienced, a bit more wiser what's actually happening with the YouTube ads, and now that we can do things like this, we can take it a lot further with a lot more accuracy so that we can get better results. And this, if you use it properly, is something that can help you to build audiences that you can keep driving traffic to them anytime that you want. It's like your own personal go-to traffic sources that you can tap into anytime you like. How cool is that? If you're interested to get a hold of the D-Day campaigns tool, I'll put a link underneath the video. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're on the sales page, you will see a buy button underneath. If you are already an AdBlasta customer with the D-Day campaigns tool, if you've already purchased this before, this update is already in the tool for you. You just need to restart the software and it will update, and you will have the same screen that I've got here. Okay, so you'll be able to use the D-Day campaigns with all of these settings already built in. That's it for now, guys. Thank you.